Hi everyone, back again. Just wanted to post a quick review of the LG G2, which is a flagship smartphone from LG, released in 2013. Soon it will be superseded by the LG G3, which everyone's looking forward to. But I just wanted to see how this particular device had aged and whether it could be considered still a flagship. I have to say I'm very impressed with the build quality of the device. I think it's got an amazing screen to bezel ratio, probably the best I've seen on a phone in fact. But in regards to like the actual feel of it, it feels a bit plasticky, kind of like Samsung phones, but it does have quite nice metallic banding around it at the sides, which gives it a little bit of style. The fact that the buttons are on the back as well is a bit different from most phones, which takes some getting used to, but I've managed to get used to it quite quickly. It does mean that you might put your finger on the cam a lot though, so it is something that you may love or hate. But I think the real thing about this phone is how expansive the screen is. I think that it's quite difficult at first to get your thumb around the screen, unlike the Xperia Z1, but unlike the Xperia Z1 it just feels a lot more comfortable in the hand because of the curved back, and navigating through the screen is quite an easy process. On the actual screen technology, you've got a true IPS Full HD screen, so that's 1080p, and the screen offers very good colour reproduction and good outdoor viewability. But like the Nexus 5, it seems to have an issue with washed out colours when you look at it from the sides a bit. I've found that it's not so apparent as the Nexus 5. Nexus 5 to me looks very washed out when moving it to the sides, but it seems that it still shares that a bit in common with it. But other than that, the screen is very nice to look at, and as I said, the bezel ratio is excellent really. I think it really makes use of the device. In regards to the specifications, you're running a quad-core Snapdragon 800. That's clocked at 2.2 GHz, and it's got 2 gigs of RAM paired with it and 16 gigs storage. So the specs are very good in terms of getting through things, and you're not going to find any lags or anything. It's very fast, and the recent update to Android KitKat has made it even faster because it now benefits from Project Svelte. Yeah, I've had no performance issues with it. It feels just as fast as the Nexus 5. I was expecting it to be lagging a bit because of the heavy LG overlay, but that doesn't seem to be the case. In regards to the battery life, the battery life is 3000 mAh, so it seems to last a long time. It can easily get you through, I'd say, 2 days of heavy usage, so there's not going to be any issues in regards to battery life with this device. It also has a power saving mode, which is within the settings, which can be put on if you feel like you need to conserve some power, and that will switch off certain things such as the brightness, auto sync, etc., and vibrate. So it's a standard battery saving thing on this, nothing like the Galaxy S5, which offers ultra power saving mode. But I think the battery in general will get you through a day anyway, because it's very powerful. And coupled with the efficient Snapdragon 800, I've not had any issues with it. In regards to the camera is a 30 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. It has quite a interesting way of focusing. It comes up with these multiple dots. I think that the camera is very good at capturing detail, and also it's better in low light than the Galaxy S4, but it's not as good as the Galaxy S5, understandably, because that's a newer device and that has 60 megapixel. But a good thing about LG is that with the recent update to KitKat, they actually added the ability to film in Ultra HD, which has been enabled in the settings. I've not had a chance to test that yet, but I will upload a video of it. But it's good that they enabled that and came through on their pledge to do that, because it seems like a shame having the ability to do it but not being allowed to do it due to software restriction. So the camera is good. It's got quite a lot of modes as well, unlike the Nexus 5. You can adjust the colour effects, the white balance, the shutter sound, etc. A lot of things that I just basically keep on normal. It's kind of like Samsung's interface with the beauty shot as well, and the ability to set it as like a night scene so as to increase the light. But Intelligent Auto should do everything itself, and I haven't found any issues with blurry shots or anything. Sometimes the Galaxy S4 can take quite blurry shots, I've found, at night, but this thing tends to do a much better job. So the camera is definitely decent, and it can also be waked up by holding down the volume down button on the back when the screen's off, which is quite a nice touch. LG has obviously put quite a few different features on the device, similar to Samsung. You can actually double tap the screen to turn it off, and then double tap it again to turn it back on again, which is quite a nice touch. I wish that all manufacturers did that. It also makes it easy to use since the buttons are not on the side, so if it's just lying on the table you can just do that. LG's skin has come into a bit of criticism for being quite a kind of complex, cluttery type of interface, but personally I don't find it to be too bad. I think maybe I'm not looking at it as it was when it first was released, but on the KitKat it seems to be decent. I can't see how anyone would struggle finding their way around things. To me it just reminds me of like the Galaxy S4. I do wish that it was a bit more consistent with the Android kind of interface. I don't see why LG have made like this bar at the bottom white in colour. It seems a bit weird, but to me it doesn't detract from the experience of the device. The device is very quick, and you know, there's no issues with lag or anything. Some of the icons are a bit weird, I'll admit that, and that could be fixed though by just having a custom launcher and then putting an icon theme on of stock KitKat. But personally, I think that LG's really outdone themselves with this particular device, and I think that the hardware itself kind of makes it worth it, regardless of any software quirks. In regards to the sound quality through the speakers on the bottom are decent. It's not like HTC One speakers, but they are quite loud. It's not going to sound like a dedicated tablet or something, but the speakers are definitely decent. I'm not sure why LG put the headphone jack there though. That's a bit of a strange place. Usually it should be at the top, but that's just a minor inconvenience really. Yeah, I think all in all it's a fantastic device still. It can be bought for about £290 now from Amazon or eBay, so it's roughly the same price as the Nexus 5, but you're getting like better battery life, better camera, and just in my opinion a better all-around experience. The software may not be updated as fast as the Nexus 5, but I think in general KitKat should last you for another 2 years or so. So really you have to ask yourself, do you really need the latest software all the time? If yes, then go with the Nexus 5, but if no, then the LG G2 is still a fantastic smartphone. So yeah, this has been a review of the LG G2. If you like the video, subscribe and like the video. Thanks a lot. Cheers.